Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know I've been away for a while, a long while, probably over a month or so, but I wanted to go over why I'm not playing Destiny 2 nearly as much as I used to. And just simply put, for me, I feel like we need a villain, a major villain, and I'm not talking about like Maya Sundaresh or Fikarol, or maybe even like a Zivu or Wrath, even though that's a really strong villain, like a major villain. But I'm talking about on the Thanos, Darth Vader type villain. Witness, we need another villain. Another major villain that can cause cataclysmic damage unless we, save the day, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's really what it is, because I personally need something more than here's a new weapon that we can use in the game. Here's more gear that we can use in the game. To what end? And I think for me, I find it interesting that we play Destiny for our purpose. At least that's how I got into it. It's because it had purpose, it had meaning. It literally felt like it was your destiny to defeat the witness or defeat the darkness, is ultimate evil type thing. Even when we didn't know exactly what the darkness was, we didn't understand it because the story really wasn't fleshed out. But that's really what it goes back to, is we need a villain, And I always find it interesting that in Star Wars specifically, what's the favorite character of Star Wars? Of course, we have Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, even Yoda. But who's the most popular character? I think by far, obviously, is Darth Vader. Darth Vader is the villain. Now, I think Darth Vader is not like a villain that does evil for evil's sake. I think it's more nuanced than that. And then the fact that he switched back to the light side, as you would say, towards the end, or at the end of Return of the Jedi. I mean, that's the story. Like, you need something to balance out the light. You need this ultimate darkness, or you need the witness to balance out the traveler. And that's how I think that's how we have our interest at its peak in the game, when you have this ultimate light versus ultimate dark, and we're in the middle having to choose sides, and then ultimately again, we have to fight the darkness and hopefully win. It's like, have you ever seen a story or a movie where the good guys don't win? Like, have you ever seen that? I'm just wondering. I'm curious about that. Have you seen a movie where Thanos actually wins ultimately in the end? Of course, we have like Empire Strikes Back, where it seems like the bad guys, or they have the advantage, right? But that's not the end of the movie. Have you ever gotten to the end of a movie or end of a game and the darkness wins? I just haven't seen that. So back to my primary or my major point, is yes, we need Bungie to make a Darth Vader, a Thanos, another witness. I don't even know, because at this point it's like power creep can start to come into play, because we need another witness, maybe not on the same power level, but above that. We need a greater threat out in the soul system that we have to fight against. And then when we're fighting, who are we protecting? Are we protecting the people in the last city still? Or are we who are we? Are we protecting another race as we move forward in the Destiny storyline? Who are we fighting? Who are we protecting? Why are we trying to survive? Are we fighting an enemy that is just way bigger than us? Right? Which causes us to have to come up to that challenge or step up to that challenge. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm going over my season pass to show you guys that I just haven't been playing as much. I did start back last week, I think, because I was at 132-ish, somewhere in there. But yeah, that's to me, that's the biggest problem with where Destiny is right now. I've been playing this game since the Dark Below, which was, around the Dark Below. So not the very beginning, but pretty darn close to it. And it was Crota and Oryx, and then eventually we got into Savathun and Zevir Wrath. And then we got into learning about the Witness, who seemed to be invisible for the most part during that entire time. But that's the thing, like, what is the threat? And the threat has to be really, good, in a bad way, obviously. But the villain also has to have story and a reason beyond, oh, I'm just evil and I do evil things. It's like, what is the villain's reasoning behind what they're doing? And you can make that more interesting, so it makes us question, okay, is the bad guy really a bad guy? Are they misguided? Like, what's going on with their storyline, right? So that's the whole thing, is just, we need a villain. And I think that once we get a villain and we know what we're fighting for, who we're fighting to protect, then our enthusiasm about the game can pick up. But that's just what I think that the game needs in order for me to really come back and be excited about playing the game. The other thing is, I was listening to Astacross go over an article, and I think one of the devs were saying that they need to create rewards for the end of activities. And I'll just say, come to Eververse, there's plenty of stuff in here that it doesn't drop at the end of an activity. You just come to the store and you buy it with silver. And there's just countless pages of stuff in here that should be dropping as rewards in the game, and none of it does. So if they start doing that, I think it would incentivize more players to come back and play the game, because some of the cool cosmetics, that's basically, you just outright buy it most of the time with silver, have that start dropping in the game at the end of activities. And that'll definitely help. So yeah, those are the 2 points, the main points that I wanted to bring up is, we need a major villain, like another ultimate witness level villain, and they need to cut down on the microtransactions and start dropping more of this stuff in the game at the end of activities. I think that would really help. Because stuff like this has been in the game forever. But does it drop in the game at the end of an activity? No. You have to come to Eververse and buy it for $10. Or you can buy this for $12, or you can buy this for $12, or buy this for $10, buy this for $10. I mean, none of this stuff drops in the game. You're just going from tab to tab, spending money. And so that means that you're not engaged, really, in gameplay. So that definitely hurts. It does. I don't know what Bungie's going to do. I really don't. Their new approach that's going to be released next month, mid-July, I don't have any expectations on it. I don't think I'm going to pre-order it. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And then as far as I can tell, everything in the vault is likely going to be sunset, even though people get upset when I say that. But I just think that's what's going to happen. Like, this is another sunset across the board where we're going to go to a new armor system, new types of, or new tiers of weapons are going to be introduced into the game. They're telling us that they can't do anything with the vault space as far as giving us more vault space, which is probably the third thing that's a problem. So major villain, microtransactions out of control, and vault space. Because we're constantly getting new weapons or weapons brought from D1 into D2. Where are we supposed to put all this stuff, right? And I'm juggling 3 characters. So managing vault space is a nightmare. But they keep bringing in more items and more items and more items that have, random rolls. And I have nowhere to put this stuff. Look at all these bonds that I haven't tried out yet. So obviously the next couple of weeks I'm just going through here. Because I was at 690 out of 700, and I've come down to 571 at this point. So I'm going to keep dwindling this down and just pick a few of this stuff, a few of these things, and then delete the rest. Because a lot of this stuff was like just in case that day came along where a certain item was really strong, I would still have it in the vault. But man, the vault space is just too tight. It's not enough. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. But I don't think there's gonna be a massive increase to vault space. So yeah, you guys can let me know if you agree. I've got, again, 1 is major villain. We need another witness level villain. 2, microtransactions out of control. And then 3, the vault space is like, oh, look at all this. And I've got more weapons in the postmaster. I've got weapons on my characters. I've got gear all over the place. So yeah, that's a problem. But those are my thoughts. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next time. Take care.